Everyone, during the start of the day, join me with your coffee and tea. Refreshing. And my blood needs a little thinning to be able to operate. It's starting to get cold outside. The room I'm in, I leave it cooler because I feel better when it's cold. I don't like being hot and sweaty. And fortunately, the lights in here, the old style Hollywood lights would have made this room unbearably hot. You'd have to be running an air conditioning unit, but the new LED lights of which I have are not a problem. And I'm using the same background I did in the last one. I think I'm going to try to use it the rest of this series. I wish I could go put it back in the other ones, but I can't. This makes me look more scholarly. I have boxes full of books. Put all my stuff in storage. I had to get rid of all the bookcases. So I can't really pull out my books. I do have over here, I do have my one Bible. I have my dad's Bible. It's a Shriner's Bible, but it's a Bible. You know, I don't care how people get to the Lord as long as they find him is the key. And so anyhow, let's go ahead and get on with our story. We're continuing our 12 ways to recognize that we're in the end times and that we're running out of time. And again, these are going to all overlap. So we're going to talk about the new temple. But let's get our bookkeeping out of the way. Christians should be excited for these times. We're seeing Bible prophecies unfold before our eyes. If you're not a Christian, you need to be one. You can ask questions about it down below. I'll try to answer them. I had somebody testing me a while back. He finally admitted he's not a Christian and he was just giving me a bad time. I blocked him. And the gate is narrow. I don't have time to deal with this. We're told to wipe the dust off our feet when we stop to talk about God and they don't want it. Wipe the dust off. There's enough people that need it. We don't need to be wasting it on people that don't need it or don't want it. Okay, if you like this video, hit like. Also, you can please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you can be notified. Those two things will help YouTube know how to place it. And if you do subscribe, you can support this channel through either the thanks button, $1 or $2 or 10 or whatever. You can also give to I have a Patreon account, donate through there, and I have PayPal. So all of which PayPal is for larger amounts. Every once in a while, I'll need something. I'm paying for everything on my own. I'm not affiliated with the church. I have a hard time with established religion, and so did Jesus, so I understand that. And be sure to pray for me and my family, so that we can continue doing this. I enjoy doing this. This is my retirement job. I should have retired to this years ago, but I wasn't ready. God waits, and he's got infinite patience. Okay, so we're going to get back onto our study, the new temple. Now, the new temple being built and sacrifices being started back is something that is relatively new in the mindset. Now, the Bible doesn't say they're going to rebuild the temple. It just says they're going to be doing their sacrifices. But you can't do sacrifices without a temple. You can't do sacrifices without a country, without Israel, without Jerusalem. So a lot of this stuff is implied. And we know that the Antichrist is going to defile the temple, so you have to have one. So we're heading in that direction. And there's an organization right now called the Temple Institute. And you can find them templeinstitute.org, I think. And they basically have been collecting money for a long time, since they've been in existence, probably seeing what everybody else can see. If you've got Israel and you've got Jerusalem and you've got a Temple Mount, we've got a place to put a temple. The Wailing Wall has nothing to do. It's not part of the temple. The Wailing Wall that people go to and pray right now is in the Jewish quarter, and it's on the western side. It's called the Western Wall for a reason. Right above on the top has been where the temple would have been. Closest to the Holy of Holies, that back part of the temple that's curtained off so that the Ark of the Covenant would have been in there. Unfortunately, their bad behavior allowed them to be conquered, and the ark got removed, taken back to the country that conquered them. So they really have not, when Jesus was there, they really were not using the temple properly. They were still sacrificing, and God accepted that up to a point. But you really got to have that Day of Atonement when the high priest goes into the back room of the temple and does the sacrifice for all the people. Now we're assuming, and this is an assumption, and we know what assuming means, and I won't go there. We're assuming that they're going to find the Ark of the Covenant. That is just simply hidden away to protect it from their enemies, of which they have countless. When they build the temple and the Antichrist comes on the scene to help them do that, he either knows or the Jews already know where the Ark of the Covenant is, and they're going to pull it out. Knowing the Antichrist and how Satan lies, they could build a facsimile of it and bring it out and claim it to be. There won't be any Christians around to call them on it. So, as Christians, we know that the temple is not needed anymore. Jesus, through his death and resurrection, and the sending of the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, to live within us, we're the temple. So instead of having one temple, we've got temples everywhere where there are Christians. Of course, we know that Islam wants to destroy all remnants of anything except for their religion. So we're in danger, but God has a seal on us, so we're protected from Satan. But Christians can still be killed. You become a martyr. Not something anybody grows up wanting to be. So it's okay if the Jews want to rebuild their temple. The majority of the people in Israel today, the majority of the Jews that are there, are not believing. They're either atheists or agnostics or just non-committal. It's like, God's abandoned us. Well, he didn't. He made you go stand in the corner and you're throwing a temper tantrum. But he's still God, he's still there, and he will turn his face back on you as soon as the Christians are gone. We've got our timeline. We don't know exactly when it starts, but we know there's going to be a rapture. The Antichrist is going to come on the scene, and he's going to bring peace between the radical versions of Islam, because they know about Jesus too. He's in there. They just don't think he's the Son of God, but they believe he's a prophet. So they will listen to him if we can convince them that that's who it is. Well, it's up to him and Satan to do that. We won't be here. But it will unite the Jewish people around God. That will help bring them closer to God. So when the 144,000, along with the two witnesses, show up, it will convince them that God is real. You haven't been forgotten. You weren't kicked under the bus. We don't have replacement theology. You are still the chosen people. You're going to get a chance to live up to that. And they're going to get 1,000 years to live up to that. So let them build their temple. Now, how close are they? The Temple Institute has everything that goes in the temple built or made or manufactured, or a lot of the hanging cloths are already done. They have the big giant 7-foot menorah, however big that is, out in front of the Temple Institute in bulletproof, bomb-proof glass so that nobody can mess with it because it's solid gold. That's out there. That goes in the front room, the ante room, if you will. But the Holy of Holies in the back. You're going to have the table to show bread. They've already made that, and the table for incense. That's already there. They had to be remade because Rome carted those off when they destroyed the temple. And they carted all the gold off that was in the tapestry. So that had to be refound and remanufactured. But they've got everything. They've even got their priestly army set up. You got to have regular priests for the daily jobs and doing things. You got to have a high priest. And the high priest is already selected. You have to sanctify everybody and the temple. That's where the red heifer comes in. Do they have the red heifer? Have they already burnt the red heifer? They said that they were doing a test burning of one of their red cows. They had a bunch of them. 5 of them came from Texas, and I think they had a couple more themselves. They got to be perfect. It's got to be a miracle. They cannot have a hair or two other than, I think maybe 2 or 3 hairs are allowed. I forget what the actual rules are, but it has to be almost 99% pure. And they did a test sacrifice. Or was it real? We don't know. And if it wasn't real, do they have one that qualifies? See, what you do is you take the ashes from that calf, you put it in water, and you sprinkle the water on the people, the priests, the high priest, and the building, and all the stuff that goes in it. It purifies it. How? I don't know. Is it just a symbolic ritual that requires faith? Perhaps, but they're doing it, and they've done it perhaps already. So they're ready. They just need someone to say, okay, you can build the temple. When will it happen? I don't know. That's the whole problem. We don't know when it starts. We know we're in the way. Christians are in the way. So we need to go first before all this. But you can tell your friends about this, because once they start seeing this happen, it will remind them that you were giving them prophetic information. So the majority of the people that are in Israel right now are there because of anti-Semitism. The nation was created because of the enormous anti-Semitism in World War II, where millions were killed because of their religious belief. It's going to happen again. They're killing Jews and Christians in various countries around the world now. We know Trump has told, was it Nigeria, to knock it off and take control, or we're coming in and we're going to cut your money off. Most of these countries get money from the government. I don't think it's right, but if it buys a little bit of peace and it doesn't cost too much, I'm okay. We can't feed the world. We can't healthcare the world. If your country doesn't have it, fight for it there. Don't come here and fight for it. All right. So where in the Bible does it talk about them building the temple? Well, like I said, it doesn't. But we know that in Revelation, John is told to measure the temple. This is prophetic. He's told to measure it, but don't measure the outer court because it's being trampled by Gentiles. Let's look first at Jesus talking in Matthew 24, verse 15. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place. Okay, what am I doing? I'm copied the wrong one. No, I just left it in there. Some of this we want actually, yeah, this just got left in there from before. I thought I deleted it all. Standing in the holy place, whoever reads them, let him understand. 9:27. And he confirmed the covenant. We already saw this. We have the 2 witnesses in the measuring rod in Revelation 11:1. Actually, it's all intertwined. I'm trying to get this one done and the next one done, and it's all blending in my mind, where normally I'm doing one a day. I'm working, and I don't know how long we're going to work, and I might not have time to do these. So I'm trying to get it done and uploaded. So forgive me for that. But the bottom line is, we know that the temple has to be there because the Antichrist has to defile it. That's why we're reading the same scripture. Yeah, that's why it's the same scriptures. Some of them are new, but some of them are different. Let's go ahead and read Revelation 11:1. Then it was giving a reed like a measuring rod, and the angel stood saying, rise and measure the temple of God, the altar, and those who worship there. But leave out the court which is outside the temple. Do not measure it, for it has been given to the Gentiles, and they will tread on the holy city underfoot for 42 months, 3.5 years. And I put in here right after that, you see there's so much in here that on this subject that overlaps. They are ready. They need someone to come in there with the power and authority to get them to come together and tell the truth about the Temple Mount. The Dome of the Rock never was meant to be a holy place for Islam. In the UNESCO Mosque, they took over office space that was part of the temple. There were shops and stuff along the side, outside the temple, where you could go do your money changing and all the other stuff that went on. You can come in there and have special prayers services for certain things going on, and you could offer something. It was a business for the temple priests to do this stuff, plus the regular festivals and holidays and stuff that they had to do. This was a business, and Jesus didn't like that. Rightly so. So they're ready. Check out the Temple Institute. If you feel inclined, you can donate to them. I would find some place to put your money besides new duds and new cars and new houses. Find some place for heaven to invest. That's why I don't like to mention people that donate to my account, because I want you to have the benefit of getting your rewards in heaven, not down here. Jesus said those who pray in the corners of the marketplace and are seen by men, they already have their reward. I want you to put away some money in heaven. I don't know what it's going to buy. But it's where you should be investing. All right, that's your permanent home. You should be putting money in your home. All right. I've got one more to do in the series I'm going to record in a little bit, and then I'm going to be offline. I will have my phone with me, but I can't have it out when we're filming because phones tend to go off. And I don't want that. So, because then it ruins the take. But I'll be checking in throughout the day. So leave me messages, comments. Tell me what you think, what you want to talk about. God usually tells me, but tell me ahead of time and I can run it past him. Or you can simply pray to God and ask him, have him teach about this. If he hears your prayer and answers it, I'll teach about it. It's that simple. All right, until we meet in the clouds. God bless.